What's up, guys? All right, if you are 100% disabled veteran, you probably heard every rumor out there. They are going to review everything. They will take your rating if you're not careful. Your rating is not safe. But here's the truth, guys. Some VA disability ratings are so medically permanent, so stable, and so well documented that the VA practically never touches them. These are ratings that don't improve, don't reverse, don't fluctuate, don't heal, and don't require routine future exam. Today, I'm giving you the 7 safest VA rating. 7 safest VA ratings. The ones that are almost completely protected by the nature of the condition itself. Let's start. What's up, guys? Welcome back to Military Insider Show. Welcome back to another episode. Man, I really have to say thank you, guys. Thank you for your support. Thank you for liking. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for sharing this content, for dropping comment below, engaging with the community. Thank you so much. I've been reaching a lot of veterans out there, and the feedback has been great. Thank you so much, guys. All right, let's start with the number 1. PTSD at 70% or 100%. PTSD is one of the most stable VA ratings for several reasons. Listen up. Trauma doesn't disappear. PTSD is not a cold. It's not an infection, and it's not temporary. The underlying trauma remains. Also, the symptoms persist across decades. Flashbacks, sleep issues, hypervigilance, anxiety, depression, avoidance, all chronic. The VA knows improvements are rare. PTSD can be treated, but very rarely cured. Patterns in medical records matter. This is important because every year of treatment strengthens the rating. All right, reductions require extraordinary proof. The VA would need medical evidence showing total recovery, no symptoms, full functional restoration. That almost never happened, guys, with PTSD. This rating is extremely safe. Now, let's talk about the second one, chronic back or spine conditions. The spine does not regenerate. Like disc disease, bulging disc, herniations, spinal stenosis, post-surgical scarring, facies arthritis, nerve compression. These are permanent, progressive, and well-documented conditions. Why spine ratings are so safe? They get worse over time. Pain increases with age. Mobility decreases. Surgery rarely restores normal function. Imaging confirms the condition permanently. The VA rarely reevaluates this unless you request an increase. You're listening, right? The VA rarely reevaluate this unless you request an increase. All right, let's move on to number 3, radiculopathy. This is very important because we'll talk about nerves here, all right? Radiculopathy means the nerve damage. Once a nerve root is damaged, it's extremely unlikely to fully restore. You can see symptoms like numbness, burning, tingling, weakness, radiating pain. These don't go away. Why the VA doesn't reduce radiculopathy? Nerves heal slowly if they heal at all. Chronic symptoms remain. Older veterans worsen with age. Medical imaging proves permanent damage. So this pretty much, radiculopathy is safe, stable, and protected. All right, now let's move on to number 4. Migraines at 50%. Migraines are one of the VA's most consistent and protected ratings. Why the migraines are so safe? Chronic neurological disorder, no cure, often lifelong. Medication manages but doesn't eliminate the migraine. Stress, light sleep, diet all trigger episodes. Documented patterns in healthcare. The VA knows migraines fluctuate but do not disappear. This rating is rarely reduced. The migraines at 50%. Now, the mental health, the mental health umbrella is pretty big. But the mental health other than PTSD, like anxiety, depression, panic disorder, adjustment disorder, chronic sleep disorder, these typically remain for years, if not life. Why the VA rarely lowers mental health ratings? Because of the chronic symptoms, permanent impact on daily functioning, medication dependency, therapy supports stability, not recovery. Everybody knows that. Fluctuation is expected, not improvement. Unless a veteran shows complete resolution, which is incredibly rare, the rating remains the same. All right. Now, let's talk about number 6. This is the TBI residuals. A traumatic brain injury has long-term consequences. All right. Cognitive decline, headaches, dizziness, concentration problems, memory loss, irritability, vision changes. These rarely get better and usually worsen with age. This rating is extremely protected. All right, this is another one important. The PTSD, TBI, and migraine. Those are the top ones. All right. Now let's talk about this one, the amputation. Loss of use or joint replacement. These are among the most secure VA ratings as well. You cannot regenerate a limb, right? Reverse a joint replacement. Restore lost mobility. The VA doesn't review these unless you file for something new. This is one of the strongest protection in the entire system. All right. Now, veteran, I want you to listen up. If you have any of these ratings that I just went over, your case is far more stable and protected than you probably realize. Peace of mind starts with knowing the truth. All right, I want you to share this video with a veteran who deserves clarity today and don't know anything about this. I'm going to repeat this real quick so you know which conditions are the safest, and pretty much the VA will not reduce them, all right, unless you file for an increase. You got the PTSD 70% or 100%. You also have the chronic back or spine conditions, radiculopathy, that's when your nerves are damaged. Migraines at 50%. This one is one of the most consistent and protected rating, the migraines. And then the mental health other than the PTSD, like anxiety, depression, panic disorder, adjustment disorder, chronic sleep disorders. These typically remains for years, if not life. All right, believe it or not. The TBI symptoms like cognitive decline, headaches, dizziness, concentration problems, memory loss, irritability, vision changes, and of course amputation. You're not going to regenerate a limb in 24 hours, or you're going to reverse a joint replacement or restore lost mobility. All right, like I said, I want you to share this content with another veteran that needs clarity today. Thank you so much for coming back, guys. Thank you so much. At least I give you a little bit information here so you know where you stand. If you have any of this condition, you are more protected than you think. All right, make sure you hit that like, you hit that subscribe, share this content with another veteran, drop a comment below, engage with the veteran community, and thank you so much, and we'll see you on the next one, guys. Stay safe.